Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I continue exploring the Rev Caves with hopes of obtaining as many loot keys as possible in 10 hours time. Expect a lot of anti-pking with many different weapons and combinations. Really excited to show you guys the potential that these loot keys have and all of the fun that you can have while obtaining them. But of course, before we get started, we do have some quick words from our sponsor today, Hero Wars. Use my links in the description below or scan my QR code to join the millions of players that are already a part of Hero Wars. There are two versions of Hero Wars, one on mobile on Android and iOS, and of course the web version. Both versions are not related to each other, so you can go your own way and each leveling up different characters and using different scenarios for exploring the Dominion. Every week, the game hosts various events and sales which open up new opportunities and features in the game. Played by more than 100 million players from all over the world with a large and friendly community which today exceeds well over 4 million people. They discuss tactics of battles with bosses and coordinate tactics for battles versus other players. Hero Wars is a fantasy online action RPG game with many different PvP modes. 6 different modes available in the game with awesome missions and rewards to compete for. What are you waiting for? Join the game now and get a super chest with a secret hero as well as 600 emeralds and 30,000 gold. Scan this QR code or download the game from the link below and I'll see you in game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So today we have 10 hours of obtaining loot keys in the wilderness, and unlike yesterday's video, this is all going to be anti-pking. I know yesterday's video was called anti-pking, but that was more so if you're only killing revenants and you're PVMing Scold with a crossbow and you can only fight back with, one special attack weapon or one set style, such as what you guys saw yesterday with the dark bow. Here in today's video, not only are you guys going to see different setups and different switches, but you're going to be seeing dozens upon dozens of kills that I've gotten in the last couple weeks here, and every single one of these kills is attached with a loot key. So finally we are kind of getting back up to date with all of the things that have been going on in game in the wilderness, and you guys get to see all of the loot accordingly now, which is in the form of a key, which all you have to do is go to the Grand Exchange or Edgeville or Furox Enclave, and there you go. You just go ahead and loot that chest and you'll get all of your opponent's gear and anything that they had in their inventory. You'll see in many different kills in this video, even a couple different inventories where I had multiple loot keys. You'll never see any potions or food in the loot key tab, that chest animation there, because I always want to make sure that that's on the ground. You can definitely customize your setup for that, and if you do that, then anytime you kill someone, you can use their potions and food and supplies, and that will only benefit you, so it's important to put that out there. Now for this video, there really won't be much Revenant content at all, because I really wasn't prioritizing killing the Revs. This was more so just for the PKers. And I do get the question all the time, why am I staying at the Rev Caves for a month and a half now? Am I just truly, not enjoying anything else in the game? Am I obsessed with him? What is the goal here? And I could sit here and lie to you guys and tell you that I'm going for all the collection log pieces, but the honest truth is I've just been really enjoying my time in the caves, and there's been a lot of different updates related to the wilderness in the past month or so, so I'm kind of just taking advantage of that. But I definitely know that this coming week I'll be doing a lot of rune crafting videos, which, I don't know if that sounds exciting or not, but it's definitely a little bit of variety, as well as different PVMing videos on the Iron Man as well. So if you guys don't enjoy these Rev videos, I completely understand, but just know that when I am live streaming on Twitch, this is what I've mainly been doing, so I'm glad that I can make a couple videos out of it for you guys, just to kind of keep you guys posted on what I've been up to in game and the progress that I've been making. You will definitely be seeing a lot of different collection log clips, as well as different drops and profit from the Revenants themselves pretty soon, but for now, I just hope you guys enjoy all of the PKs and the loot keys that I got from this video. And this did take just about, I'd say, 2 days to do. The title of the actual video is 10 hours of obtaining loot keys. This is actually 18 hours of footage, so, I'm not, cheaping out here, but I do want to mention that because it is kind of hard to find fights. You can understand the wilderness is only so active, so if I'm killing the Revenant Orc, which is the main Rev that I kill if I'm unskulled, especially just because it's pretty easy to kill, and the Dragon just does so much DPS comparatively, so I usually stick with the Orc. And honestly, depending on the time zone and depending on the day, sometimes you can run into a PKer maybe once every hour, and you're definitely not going to kill them 100% of the time. So that is something that I've been kind of exploring in the Rev Caves, kind of seeing what time zones work best and whatnot. But at the end of the day, every single day that I do log in and check out the caves, I say it's pretty packed. You know, a lot of people were kind of worried that the recent PKing update, the PJing update for teams, would demotivate PKers. But as I said in yesterday's video, hopefully this video is proof that there's still quite a bit of people out there. So always easy pickings, especially if you got the Dragon Claws as a special attack weapon, whether you're anti-PKing or just rushing people, or just PVMing and occasionally rushing people. You know, there's all sorts of different ways that you can, you know, do these revs, but as it goes for the actual loot itself, really this whole video, anytime I would kill a PVMer, it's almost a guaranteed 250k. At most, it could be about a mil, depending on the ether, depending on the loot that they grab. But honestly, killing gold farmers is actually much harder than you'd think, because most of them do bring a bulwark, and a lot of them are good at tanking, and they are so quick at teleporting. So that's why in this video, if I killed, let's say, 100 people, I'd say probably 2 of them would be gold farmers, because there's really just, I don't know, there's not a whole lot of incentive to kill them, and they actually make it very, very difficult. So yeah, the gear choice for most of this video when it comes to the kills was definitely Dragon Claws. They were always very reliable for me, the Armadyl Godsword just as much. Occasionally I would do the Elder Maul switch with the Dragon Claws and Ballista, and it worked out in my favor quite a bit, but I would definitely have to be unskulled if that was going to be the case. And if you're ever curious of how I find all these certain people to kill, you know, because I know a lot of people go in the wild and they tell me, you know, that they only run into max mages and they only run into people that they can never kill. I'll be honest, you know, live streaming certainly helps with running into more people, because I always make sure to advertise my world, and sometimes if I'm bored, I'll put a bounty on my head of like 5 mil if you can kill me. And coming from someone who's died over 2,000 times almost, I'd say that that's a pretty dumb idea to do, but this also makes the wilderness a lot more active, and this is a good thing for me, because anytime the wilderness is more active, I get more clips, and I always get that small little chance to kill a max mage, which is just kind of one of my personal goals in this game, you know, just to get a big PK that I actually earned. There is a couple of big PKs featured in this video, but of course I don't want to spoil that for you guys, because I feel like every single loot key that we open, you just don't know what's going to be behind that chest or inside that chest, and it's just exhilarating to, you know, kind of find out. But overall, I did start a Dragon Crossbow collection right when I started last video, and I think currently I'm at 46 Dragon Crossbows that we have PK'd in the past month, and yeah, that's pretty amazing. I do occasionally sell off the tab though, you know, if it's Barrows equipment or brimstone rings, you see a lot of those, but you know, it's kind of just the way I kind of recuperate my cash, and of course restock on the gear that I use and all the risks that I use as well. And there was always you know, interesting moments in these caves, because, you know, again, outside of the caves is just as interesting as inside, honestly, because there's a south entrance which you can run a little bit west towards Bandit Camp, and it's multi, and there was a few times that I've done that, and you know, people have just kind of come out of nowhere and helped me, and other times teams come and I die right away. And then there's the north side entrance to Revenants, and that of course is right next to the Moss Giants, and if you run a little bit northeast, you're in multi as well. So there's kind of 2 good escapes if you do want to go that route instead of just teleporting right away. As you see in most of these fights, if it's with a hybrid, I'm almost always half TB'd, and although it's, you know, it's a struggle to stay alive, it's a lot easier to tank a 2.5 minute TB than it is a 5-minute one. And occasionally there would be noobs to kill, you know, the snakeskin, bandana, Espanol username people, but at the end of the day, you know, they're just in the wild too, making some money, and if they're skulled, you know, sometimes they even attack me first, so I figure it's fair game. And during the making of this video, there was a little bit of a glitch going on with loot keys, and that was whenever I would die after killing someone, essentially having a double death, I would actually almost always be able to keep both of the loot keys, so I would just go to the chest afterwards, I would get all of my stuff back and then theirs. But after the next video that you guys see, that was actually patched, so that no longer can happen. I do think that both of the loots end up on the ground in case of a double kill, but I'm still not too sure on that, but that was important to note. And one thing that I think is worth mentioning is that if you are a PKer or a PVMer looking to, you know, find PKers, I would say the #1 way to do that would be hop as many worlds as you can and search for as many boss spawns as you can. Although there really wasn't too many clips in this video of me killing people at the boss spawn, I will say that that is one of the main attractions arrows that people see in this cave, that anyone can see in the cave, that really has an arrow directing you towards it. And anytime you show up there, unless it just spawned, it's more likely than not you're going to be running into PKers or PVMers that are ready to skull up, or at least have a risk worth going for. So anytime it was a slow hour, which, you know, you never want to have a slow hour, especially when you're live streaming and especially when you're trying to get as many fights as you can for the content and for the video, it's definitely a good thing to hop around worlds and just kind of try to find a boss as quickly as you can, because there's always going to be people there, because the boss is like a guaranteed 1 mil if you kill it, occasionally 500k, so that really does give people incentive to kind of go check it out. Other than that though, the Elder Maul has been doing us pretty well. It was at the very end of the video where I kind of decided and finalized my setup, which I really just decided on a max tank setup, really not max tank, but Barrows tank setup. And a lot of people always question the Torag's helmet instead of the Nezi or Serpentine helmet, and honestly I just think it's old school. I think it's a little bit nostalgic, kind of reminds me of the Elf Mage and the Mako Pro days, so yeah, I just kind of like wearing the Torags with a Carol's top and Torag plate leg setup. It was good in 2008 and I'm still making it work in, you know, 2022. So, and I do want to say a huge thank you to you guys for watching yesterday's video. I really do appreciate it. You know, I'm just kind of just catching you guys up on what I've been up to in game, and I do promise you guys that a lot more videos are going to be coming soon with a lot different variety, you know, PVMing and skilling and mini games and bossing. I made sure to put one of my last clips at the end of this video as kind of like an update as to where I am today, what PKing setup that I'm using today, and how is it working for me. So that DH really pulling through there with a big hit. And yeah, you know, the thing with DH is you're able to risk HP because it's beneficial in not only the way that if you're low HP you can hit higher, but also the defense bonus that you're granted really makes it so that you can actually tank those hits if any big special attacks do come to you. Overall for this video we do have just about 35 kills and a little bit under, I'd say, 18 deaths according to the KDR. So I'd say well over 50 mil was made just from the PKing. Probably about 25 mil lost from all of the deaths, and you know, averagely killing Revenants, I'd probably say like another 20 mil on top of that, average 2 mil an hour if you're not running into any PKers and you're unskulled with my setup. I do apologize that I don't have a loot tab to show you guys, but hopefully all of the loot combined in the chests is good enough to see for now. It was really hard to make a loot tab for this video because I kept having to sell things that I would PK in order to buy back other things. But overall, I really hope you enjoyed the background PKing and all of the PKs in general with all of the different people that I encountered. So many different people, whether they were a PVMer or PKer, but it all really made for a lot of fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Make sure to check out that sponsor in the links below. It really does help me out if you download that game, and it's 100% free, so it's important to note as well. But tomorrow we do have 10 hours of PKing the PKers, you know, kind of a follow-up of this video and last video regarding the Revenant caves. And then after that I have all sorts of new stuff coming for you guys. So thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you next time. And until then, Mr. No Sleep out.